you have got your transplantation done or you're planning one, then this video is for you because you would have spent a lot of money, a lot of time, effort into getting a transplantation. But if you don't care or if you don't take the appropriate care post transplantation, then the results will not be what you have expected. This post-transplant care holds especially true for long hair transplantation, which I'm going to discuss in this video. Now, the first and foremost mistake that many people do after they get a transplantation is they keep touching the grafted area and sometimes unknowingly they even scratch them. So the first 1 week of post-transplant is kind of very important for the grafted hair to establish the blood supply and to get properly implanted. If there is any physical movement during this time, like by touching or scratching or by wearing a cap, then these can dislodge the grafts and it can give like a failure of a transplantation. So you need to be very careful while you're getting into cars, and you also have to be careful when you are sleeping because unknowingly, if you sleep on the grafts, they can get rubbed, they can get dislodged in the process. The second most important thing is improper washing. So generally I've seen like two spectrum of this patient. So one spectrum is like very scared to even touch the grafts, and the second one is over aggressive. They're like washing, putting undue pressure on it. So what happens if you don't wash it at all? After the transplantation, there's a lot of crust formation, and if those crust or the debris, which is the blood debris and everything, if it is not removed properly, it can be like a source of infection, which is not at all good for the transplanted hair. And obviously, if you're doing it very aggressively, like you can wash off the serums and sometimes dislodge the grafts. So both spectrums are not at all good. Try to understand how you actually do it. So for the first 2 days, you don't touch the transplanted hair. Just put water on the scalp. From the seventh day, you can use minimal pressure to clean the scalp. What I've seen many patients do most frequently is that they hit the gym too early, will lead to a lot of sweating, and it can lead to increased blood supply and dislodging of the grafts. Sweating as such is not dangerous for the hair roots. You do a very vigorous gym session in the form of lifting a lot of heavy weights, then this can disturb the blood supply of the grafts and it can lead to dislodgement. So ideally what I tell my patients is till the 1 month period, you're not supposed to do any weightlifting. You can do your regular walks, slight jogging and simple yoga sessions, but don't do heavy weightlifting. Smoking or taking alcohol immediately after getting a transplantation, obviously it has a very adverse effect on the implanted grafts. You can call this as vasoconstriction, which leads to decreased blood flow, and this can damage the overall results. Many patients, after they get a transplant done, who don't follow up regularly because sometimes the mindset will be like, I've got a transplantation done, that's it, it is the end of the hair loss story. 99% of the times that's not true, because transplantation, what is exactly happening is we're just redistributing the hair from the backside to the front, but the hair loss process, that is the male pattern baldness, will progress. So already existing hair can get lost in the process, which might impact the overall results. And generally, what we have observed over a period of 5 years, 10 years down the line is that the transplanted hair will start thinning down. Last, one of the most important things is that you have to know the timelines of your hair transplantation, because initially there will be a lot of scabbing. This scabbing will be there for a period of like 7 days or to 10 days, depending from person to person. And in the first 2 to 3 months, there will be a shedding phase, which you have to remember. And this shedding phase, of course, can be reduced by using advanced technique like DHT in a heavy hair transplantation. And the overall growth will be after 8 to 10 months. Now, this video is very important for you if you are considering a hair transplantation, or if you have already done a hair transplantation. But what if you want to do a long hair transplantation? Long hair transplantation is one of the most gratifying procedure for me as a hair transplant surgeon. Why? Because I get to see the results immediately, and patient also feels as if there is an immediate transformation. But there will be a lot of maintenance. So whatever I have told you, the maintenance part will be 2x, but this will be totally worth it. So transplantation is not a one day procedure. It is like a commitment what you give for at least 6 to 12 months. So to get the best outcome of your transplantation.